From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Colorado's wolf reintroduction effort taking a different path than other states. What that strategy is and how it's working coming up. Then at 6:36, doctors explain how the United States may be well on the way to moving from the COVID pandemic to a much more manageable COVID endemic. Meantime, it is 6:31 and it is nasty, wintry, cold out there. It's the coldest we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
And driving conditions are just poor, to say the least.
The problem is we've had the snow. Yesterday we had the snow on the ground.
Yep.
That was cleared, and then we had a nice sheet of ice that you can see very clearly. Unless you're dealing with this is sent to us from Jeff Krogstad. That snow was just blowing across there early this morning. Still is in many cases. Temperature sitting at 6 below in Belgrade. Look at that, 35 degrees below zero, the wind chill value in Dillon, Montana. It is an extremely cold and dangerous morning. Please don't leave the animals outside, and in fact, try not to leave the kids at the school bus as you're starting the morning. This is dangerous out there this morning. Daytime temperatures below zero. Those are our daytime temperatures. May not make it above that zero mark for the afternoon. We do have some warmer days ahead. We have to wait a while. I'll talk more about that, of course, in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:32 now. You've heard this before. Gallatin County real estate prices are higher and the inventory is lower. That's just the way the local market is starting the new year. More than 20% fewer new listings this past January compared to a year ago. The inventory of a single-family home for sale dropping nearly 35%. But with the demand high, median sale price saw a jump of 45% from $560,000 last year to more than $812,000 this January. For condos and townhouses, median price rose nearly 29% to $475,000. 6:32 now. Colorado is the fourth state to reintroduce wolves, but the state is struggling to balance its program as the predators spread out. Reintroduction is meeting with lawsuits and political struggle between ranchers and conservationists. Now, Alexa Liaco found the latest reintroductions are taking a different approach.
It takes the grit of generations past to make it out here.
My grandparents actually raised Angus cattle when I was a little kid.
Growing up on the ranch inspired Don Gittleson and his wife to create a place of their own. But there's a threat to Don's livelihood, one he rarely sees until it's too late.
Come in one night and they killed a calf.
Wolves have attacked and killed 3 of his cows in just the last couple weeks.
The worst was the cow they didn't kill because of how bad they tore her up. And I knew when I saw her we were going to have to put her down. Yeah.
Don is worried this will become a common sight on his Colorado ranch and others like it. In 2020, voters decided to reintroduce the animals to Colorado. Gray wolves were hunted to near extinction decades ago, but in recent years they have been reintroduced in Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. Conservationists are excited to see the wolf population growing, but many ranchers here in Colorado aren't.
There are way more people in this state, and once wolves start to get here, this is going to be a way bigger mess than either of those states.
Don says the reintroduction in Colorado has to be different for it to work. It has to protect wolves and support business.
If they want to have them and have it work out, they're going to have to compensate the ranchers.
The fight for better rancher compensation is just the first step to protect his herd.
That's $15,000 worth of fencing.
Don is building physical barriers, but he's also building bridges, inviting wolf advocates to his ranch.
Any sign of them recently?
Well, so this weekend where they came up from down below, they came into the creek and they came up.
It's an unusual partnership. Together, ranchers and conservationists will advise Colorado Parks and Wildlife how to reintroduce wolves safely.
For wolves to succeed on this landscape, we need to make sure that the ranchers, the stewards of this landscape, the ones who will be living and working with them, can succeed as well.
Karen Vardaman runs wolf advocacy group Working Circle. She and her staff are volunteering to protect herds like Don's at night.
This is kind of that, emergency response.
She will stay in this pasture until sunrise to keep the wolves out.
Frozen cow pies, pretty bumpy.
This first-hand ranch experience is something wolf advocates like Karen
Just the horses.
have never had before.
I got into wolf work because I love wolves, that's what I was doing. And I'm just so grateful because I felt like the veil's been lifted for me. I've just fell in love with the ranching community and their way of life.
She doesn't know how long her team can help out like this, but she says it's the collaboration happening here that will help make this reintroduction a nationwide conservation model, bringing wolves and people one step closer to coexisting. I'm Alexa Liacco reporting.
All right, 6:36, nearly 2 years after setting out to restore passenger rail service across southern Montana, Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority says it believes it has finished the legwork to position itself for inclusion in a pending rail service study, which could bring eventual funding for that project. Board President David Strohmeyer says the routes of both the North Coast Hiawatha and Pioneer will likely be included in the Amtrak daily long-distance service study. That study is set to go out for bid in just a few weeks. Inclusion in the study would mark a significant step forward in the region's push to restore passenger service across Montana's most populated tier. Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority in October unveiled a preliminary report which found that restoring the Southern Amtrak route across Montana and 6 other states would generate more than $270 million in economic benefits. 6:36 now. While many states are shifting COVID policies, the Institute for Health Metrics shows that nearly 3/4 of the country have some resistance to the Omicron variant. The organization finds that this is a result of millions of Americans being exposed to the Omicron virus and or receiving a COVID vaccination or booster shot. Newsy's Adi Guardero reports.
COVID-19 cases and deaths are dropping months after Omicron ripped across the U.S., claiming lives and overwhelming hospitals.
I would put down as the most dangerous variant.
Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious disease specialist, says the variant left behind protection against Omicron and similar variants.
It looks as though Omicron protection, whether from vaccine or the natural infection, is real. It will protect against serious disease.
The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, in conjunction with the Associated Press, released a study that found 73% of Americans for now are immune to Omicron, the dominant COVID-19 variant, and it's expected to increase to 80% by mid-March.
It is building up some natural protection in the population, so-called herd immunity. If we combine that with the people who are vaccinated, and there will be some overlap, I think that will help our transition from pandemic COVID to endemic COVID.
Weekly COVID-19 cases in the U.S. average 122,000, a dramatic 85% drop in COVID-19 cases compared to a month ago. Some hospitals may already be feeling the effects of the protection.
In some cases, people are having entire shifts in the emergency room where they're not seeing a single case of COVID.
Dr. Shad Marvasti, an associate professor at the University of Arizona College of Medicine, Phoenix, says the findings are exciting, but worries the study may give a false sense of security.
It really sends a premature signal that things are over and everything is safe. Whereas what we should be telling people is we should actually define immunity as being vaccinated and boosted.
Health experts warn a new variant may arise and add that protection varies by region. The study shows 80 million Americans may still be at risk, and important questions remain.
We're still learning exactly how secure our protection is from Omicron infection and for how long it will last. We wouldn't be surprised if, even though we've recovered, after a period of months, we could still get reinfected, perhaps mildly, not have any symptoms or have a mild cold, and still be at some risk of transmitting the infection to others.
65% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, according to the CDC. Some health experts want to see that average jump to at least 80%.
All right, 6:40. Matt joining us here, working on this weather situation out there. I know you've been tracking the system going on. You can see that Jeff Krogstad bringing that video in of the blowing snow. That's just one of the things we're dealing with. Underneath all that blowing snow, some really ugly roadways.
The ice and visibility Both combined to be pretty nasty conditions for most of the area. Here's a look at our road conditions. Scattered snow and ice on Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass, Gallatin Canyon. Definitely dealing with some slick conditions this morning. I'm going to talk about how long this is going to last, the effects, and much more, of course, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Matt. 640, latest storm creating some unique avalanche dangers in local mountains. 648,